So right now it's 9:30 Central. I'm driving across the country. Right now I'm just outside of St. Louis, Missouri. Pretty sunny day. Got decent traffic, not too bad, and just enjoying it. So heading to meet up with a old coworker for lunch in Kansas City, or just south of Kansas City, and talk to him about what's going on in his life, how he's enjoying work at his company, and then to kind of let him know on what the startup I'm doing, Kowabunga Studios, is really up to and how that might help him. I already sent a couple videos out kind of describing and looking at the functionality of the software, and more so, it's going to be just getting that name out, what might be beneficial for him, and getting feedback. Since I'm not currently selling anything, it's really just getting feedback, and that we can refine the code and the software before launch. So really getting a voice of the customer, if you will, before it's ever sold and released, and then how they might want to bundle it. So currently I've got it bundled to where lights, receptacles, and switches are all kind of in one package, which could easily be broken out. I think I'm going to keep it bundled though, unless there's some real big pushback that somebody would just like lighting or just receptacles or something in between. So that's kind of what I'm doing, going across the country. Not only am I moving to be with my girlfriend and make the personal life better, but to start my own company and really give this a shot, especially while I'm young. I just turned 28 last week, a week and a half ago, and it's a great time to just make it happen, go off on my own, and see what happens. But in seeing what happens, it's also putting in a lot of work, putting in a lot of dedication, putting in the time, and making the contacts, the phone calls, the emails to all the customers, potential customers, getting their feedback in these early stages, giving a preview of what the software looks like, what it can do, the scale that it can help big companies, especially people that work on big buildings. So the software is to help basically draft and produce construction documents, so blueprints, in the architecture engineering industry. Currently this is just for electrical engineers, so people that do lighting layouts, where all the outlets go in all the buildings, where light switches go, or lack of light switches is the case in a lot of places now. So you look at occupancy sensors, those things mounted on the ceiling to turn on and off the lights. Sometimes they're on the walls in smaller spaces, and so that's all those things have to get populated into a model. And Revit is by and large the standard software that's used now, and Revit is made by Autodesk. So this software is an add-in to Autodesk's Revit platform, and really to help just engineers lay out things a lot faster. There's a lot of quote rules of thumb and spacing for light fixtures that most engineers, especially that have been in the field a while, kind of know what those look like. And that's the intent of this software, is to help all the engineers just get through it quicker, faster, and this really works more at scale. So if you have small buildings, anything less than maybe 10, 15, 20,000 even square feet, this isn't the best fit for you. It's really more for those 50,000, 100,000 square foot and up buildings, just because then you get the advantages of scale. So large buildings, and really for renovations, this isn't the best, mainly because renovations, there's a lot of unique characteristics, stuff that you're keeping or retrofitting, but could still work for some retrofit or renovation applications, such as if you're replacing all of the lighting, you could use this to lay out all those light fixtures, especially if you already know the spacing of the existing and you're going one for one, to put them in there. So there are definitely some applications where renovation can use Kowabunga Studios in that application, but probably won't fit all applications. And eventually, the goal for Kowabunga Studios is to help engineers automate more of what they're doing using the power of Revit, that back-end API, and to program more functionality into it, not less, and to continue to grow and to add value and time into what engineers are doing, and not taken away from their creativity or design, but really automating a lot of those rote tasks, and even eventually helping more with quality control, and to make sure that standards are followed in the design process. So that's the next step for Kowabunga. But right now we're really working on to get through design documents, which is that intermediate phase of design. So you have schematic, design documents, and then construction documents, which are all the annotations, all the details that go into it. Where design documents are that intermediate level where you're showing design intent, kind of where things go, and then to get feedback from the owner, other disciplines. So that might be some feedback from the architect or the interior designer on what lights are chosen, where they should go, why they should be there, and kind of just to make sure the look and feel of that space is correct, as well as to make sure that you've got power and everything else where it needs to go. So that's really the intent of design documents, and the intent right now for Kowabunga Studios. Again, in the future we'll expand, but right now we're not there. So I'm excited for this new journey, this new piece of life, and to really have my time and not so much rely on others. And if I don't make a sale, it's my fault, rather than like the team not delivering, or people that I don't manage, or anything like that. So really excited to go off on this new journey, this new piece. As you can kind of see here, that's like all my stuff. Sold all my furniture and or gave it away. And really, if it fits in this Honda Civic, plus the 5 boxes and 2 suitcases that I already shipped out, but if it didn't fit, didn't ship. So that's kind of how I live this one, is trying to pare down to kind of the bare essentials. Probably have still more than I need, but fit everything in the car, and headed west. So yeah, this is day 2. Yesterday I stopped in St. Louis, had a meeting there since I didn't get out of Indy until like 1 o'clock. So headed straight to St. Louis, had one meeting, and then made it to First Form for a workout, which was awesome. That was a great experience, and really cool to see First Form, the culture and community there, especially from listening to the podcast by Andy Frisella, the MSCEO project. So that was really cool. And then just got checked in my Airbnb, did short dinner, some writing, reflection, bed early, up, did some priming and meditation this morning, and then headed off, and on the way to Kansas City. And tonight I should be almost to Denver. Kind of just keep driving after lunch, and then maybe try to get some other meetings or stop into some other companies today, and then go from there. So this is Dylan. This is day 2 of my drive across the country, and thanks for tuning in. Peace.